Why, hello to all you out there in YouTube land. Believe it or not, I am not in front of a green screen. This is a wall. We actually have a wall that is the same color green as a green screen. I almost feel like I should be doing special effects backgrounds if necessary. But what I would really like to talk to you today about is just an opportunity this summer that is happening at Zion, and it is, for better or for worse, an in-person only opportunity. So some of you know that during the summer we try to extend some kind of spiritual, formational, educational opportunity. Last summer, we did the invitation into evangelism to discuss kind of some of the misunderstandings behind evangelism and what it has to do with an individual and a community's call to be faithful disciples of Jesus. And that also was in person only, but that was a very fun evening activity. This time we are offering an early morning activity. And this kind of comes out of the spirit of several years ago, pre-pandemic. We had a Bible study group that met during the summer months for 6 or 7 weeks. And we were able to meet at a coffee shop at around 6:30 in the morning. And it was very experimental. Maybe it was even 7 in the morning because I feel like I couldn't find a coffee shop in Sheboygan that opened earlier than 7 a.m., which is still kind of crazy to me. Anyway, I was pleasantly surprised with the attendance at that, and the group that came was very encouraged by their group experience, getting to know one another, support one another, and even the topic, which was, I believe, about wisdom, the biblical call to wisdom as sort of a life vocational trajectory. It was a good discussion group. So what we're trying to do this summer is combine those two things. Our normal summer offering of a topic that's a little bit out of the ordinary, a little bit unusual. But this time we're going to try it as an early morning gathering again. I would like to do it at 6:30 instead of 7 to make it a little easier for those people who have to work or people who already complain that, wow, 6:30 is too late. Like if we could make it at 5 or 5:30, but to kind of take some of the stress off and knowing that I'm not going to find a coffee shop that is going to be earlier than this, I'm going to provide coffee. We're going to have it at the Mission House this summer. And there will be some flavored creamers and there will be some pastries. So you can get a very lo-fi coffee shop feel to it, but it's still going to be concise. 1 hour, 6:30 to 7:30 on most Wednesdays this summer, beginning June 12th. It will not be every Wednesday because I have a couple of conflicts in there, but it'll be a lot of the Wednesdays going towards August. About 8 of them, and this time we're calling this Coffee and Contemplation because it's not a technical Bible study. There will be Bible in it, but what I would really like to do, sort of like with the evangelism topic, is have a nice, robust discussion. I want to thoughtfully think through this idea of deconstruction because I have been hearing about deconstruction for years, going back to the early 2000s, maybe even late 1990s. But it has gained momentum in these days of podcasts and webinars and online communities where there's an awful lot talked about, particularly in faith circles, about deconstruction. Now, I have to say, in the 2+ decades that I have been overhearing things and participating in the conversation in lesser degrees, I have been encouraged by several things. But I have also over time built up several concerns about how people sometimes use that phrase deconstruction and where people are going with this idea of deconstruction, particularly in the realm of faith. And that's what I'd like to talk about and think through a little more specifically in a safe environment. So this is really open to anybody. Obviously, we're starting with advertising in the Zion community, but certainly others can come to this. Others can be brought to this. People who are seeking faith, people who have left the faith, people who have no idea what to think about faith. And deconstruction is sort of an easier, albeit messier way to have hard conversation about things that some portions of community might call absolutes, other portions of the community might call open to various interpretations, and some people might say not applicable at all. And how do we talk about that? How do we think through that? How do we encourage one another and allow some kind of framework for thinking? And we are going to reference scripture quite a bit in this because you might be surprised to find that in the strictest sense of the word, the Bible often in its narratives deconstructs popular opinions or popular traditions or popular mindsets on what God is like and what God is doing. And I just want to examine some of those. So those might maybe even better represent our faith, better encourage our faith, and give us better direction how to improve in our faith. So if you would like to join us for this, these are going to be drop-in friendly. They are interconnected, but each week is kind of a standalone topic. It connects with the topics around it because they're all sort of under this overriding theme of deconstruction. But at the same time, if you make it to the second one and not the first one, it isn't like you're going to be lost in not knowing what we're doing, or if you only make it to the second and the sixth one and no other ones, doesn't mean that it wouldn't necessarily be of value to you. So feel free to join us Wednesday mornings in the summer, beginning June 12th, 6:30 a.m. at the Mission House on Zion's property. And if you can't make it, but you would still be interested in this topic, let me know, because I very well may find different ways of getting this out there in other venues, whether it's newsletters or videos, or maybe we'll do this study again or this discussion again at a different time slot at a different time. So I don't know, be thinking about it. Until then, my prayer is that you have a good, relaxing summer, that you are refreshed in spirit and mind and body, and that you do much good in this world. Not only to please the God and maker of us all, but also to walk the path and to help our fellow human beings to lead toward that coming kingdom. So until then, have a lovely day, and I'll see you hopefully on the other side of the screen.